I've been sleeping with my brother's best friend behind his back. I, 20F, have been sleeping with my brother's best friend, 23M, of 10 plus years. Let me start from the beginning. Let's call him Eric. I have known Eric since I was in elementary school. He has been my brother's friend since middle school and would always bring him around, but I never talked to him due to being a shy girl until about my sophomore year of high school. There was one random night that resulted in me frequently hanging out with my brother and Eric. Eric is an attractive guy. I always found him cute, but again, he was my brother's best friend, so I never saw him in any type of way. I also felt that I was out of his league as he's older than me. Anyways, we have all grown closer as a group, so we planned a vacation together to Puerto Rico. It was a group of us, my brother, his girl, Eric, his friend, Eddie, myself, and my friend. Our Airbnb had 2 rooms and a living room with a small inflatable and a couch. On the first day, Eric and I were the only ones drinking. We drank from when we landed until I knocked out on the floor. When I woke up, everyone was ready to go to bed. My brother and his girl took one room. Eric took the other one. Eddie took the couch, and my friend took the inflatable. When I woke up, Eric was offering his bed to me, asking if I wanted to sleep in the big bed in the second room since the inflatable was too small. I was still a little drunk and stumbled my way to his room. I didn't think much of his offer, but I also want going to turn it down. When I laid on the bed, I was still wearing the clothes from that day and my bathing suit. When he walked in, he nudged me to fix myself since I was on the edge of the bed. But when he woke me up, I was suddenly not sleepy no more. But he wasn't tired either, so we watched TV. But mid-watching, I joked around to take more shots. And to my surprise, he had gotten up to get the bottle, and there we were taking shots watching Friends. I was watching, laying my head on his shoulder until some point where he pulled me, so my head was resting on his chest, and he was caressing my arm. Again, I did not think much of this. In my mind, it was still not even a thought of us doing anything. Until at some point, we were face to face with each other, close to kissing, telling each other that we can't, and it's just 'cause we're drunk. But then that soon turned into, we can't tell anyone. We ended up kissing and hooking up that night, after we told each other that we could never tell anyone or speak on it again. We said when we woke up everything would go back to normal, and so we went to sleep cuddling. Also, to keep things clear, things between us are strictly physical. The next morning we didn't speak on it. Nothing was awkward. We were acting how we always do, which I appreciated. Until we were all smoking in the patio that night, and it was just us two out there. I don't remember how the subject got brought up, but we started talking about the night before. To sum up the conversation, it was basically us saying that one more time couldn't hurt, and what happened in Puerto Rico stays in Puerto Rico because we weren't going to bring whatever we were doing back home. And so that same night, we slept together and hooked up again. This happened every day of our vacation. And no, we didn't get caught. If you're wondering what my brother thought of Eric and I sleeping together, he never really said anything to me. Apparently, Eric had asked for permission on the first night. Not permission to do anything with me, obviously, but permission as in if it's fine, if I sleep in the bed, because there's nowhere else for me to go. And my brother was fine with it. I think my brother also thought we would never hook up. We never spoke about it because I didn't want to make it weird by brining it up. But he also didn't tell my mom when she asked about the sleeping arrangements. I don't think anyone on the trip really suspected anything. Although I do know Eddie did walk into our room one morning while we were cuddling, and he just stood there watching us for a while till he left. But he never said anything. Anyways, on the last day of our vacation, it was just us in the house, as everyone else was out doing something. So we had our last hookup. We said we were going to cut off all the inside jokes that had come about our hookups and anything that had to do with our secret. Throughout the trip, we would feel guilty for my brother and what we were doing behind his back. But at the same time, there was a rush of adrenaline and curiosity with this situation. I mean, come on, hooking up with my older brother's hot friend? It's straight out of a movie. I couldn't help but explore, and I think Eric felt the same way too.